Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to do another Project Life spread for this year. I think this is week 2, and I'm going to pull mostly the yellows and blues and beige from the Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit and just stick with using those instead of trying to figure out using all the colors. And also a lot of my photos, like my main 4x4 photo, lends itself to blue. So it just makes sense, and I love how this spread turned out. I just love it, especially with the color choice that I went with. When I designed this or worked out what photos I was going to use in Photoshop Elements, I thought I could use the January Stories tag, but I forgot that my pocket kind of opens, or not kinda, it does open to the right hand side. So it's really not going to work to have that tag. So I might have to make my own journaling card, and I do figure out a really fun way to make my own journaling card. I also took one of the banners, 2024 started like this, and I went ahead and added that to the 4x4 photo. So what I did to do something a little different, I'm not great at using vellum in my projects, especially when a kit gives me vellum. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. But in this particular project, I figured out 2 very awesome ways to use the vellum. I punched out shapes. I guess I could say that I do use vellum, and my go-to method is punching out the shapes. But beyond that, I don't know what to do with the vellum. No idea. But I love punching out shapes, and that's what I decided to do for this spread. I knew I could add some to that but the photo of me laying on the couch dead, because I pretty much felt dead. I was so tired. This was an exhausting week. My husband was gone in Texas all week long for a work training, and I was just tired. So I actually captured a photo of me snuggled up on the couch, and I tucked 2 of the vellum pieces behind a die cut that says 3 details. So I just used a 1-inch and then a 1.5-inch scallop punch, and I love how it turned out. It's just a little bit of vellum tucked behind the die cut, and it's perfect. For this 4x4 card, my first thought was to do the punch shapes at the top and the bottom, and then maybe use a little everyday story banner because it was neutral. I didn't like how big that banner was, and it felt awkward there. So I looked in my pieces of my kit, and I have a yellow banner that says "Let's do this 2024." So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and then I'll find a different way to use the little everyday story. I also wanted to use a chipboard, and it has the neutral colors in it, and since I felt like I needed just a little bit more of the neutral, so added that to the bottom right corner. And what I really like is how when I punched, one of the shapes that wound up in the bottom right-hand corner is that it's a little bit of yellow and then a little bit of the neutral. So I absolutely love how this card turned out. And again, it's my favorite way to use vellum, just punch the shapes. But I also did recently learn that you can use a Sharpie pen, which is one of the pens that I absolutely love using. It's a fine point pen, and I learned that you can use it to write on the actual vellum cards. So I figured that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and try that. I did try it, and I love how it turned out. So that is going to be over on the other side with the kind of 3 speech bubbles. You can see off to the left-hand side, I do have a physical printed version of it in case I got scared and was like, I'm not doing this. But I did decide to do it, and I love it. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm figuring out a way to use a little everyday story, and I took plain vellum in my stash, punched out 1.5-inch circle and also a 1-inch circle of the blue, and then just made kind of a funky shape with the banner. I don't even know what kind of shape it is, but it turned out pretty cute, and I'm going to layer it behind the 2 pieces of vellum, the 2 shapes, and it's going to make for a fun floating pocket, and I love it. It turned out great, so I'm glad that I was able to use that piece because I was trying to use up as much pieces as I can I mean, that's always the goal when we use our kits, right? But Allie Edwards recently, changed up her kits. And so there's more components in the kits now. And I just wanted to make sure that I try my best to use up a lot of it. Because another reason, and I'm sure that if you've watched my videos, I talk about it, since my go-to is planning digitally, I will always wind up using more digital than physical. And I have to remind myself, you have the physical kit, you should use it. So that's what I'm doing here, and it turned out great. One of the photos, the photo of my daughter and braiding her hair, that did not turn out 2x2. So I just matted it on a piece of white paper. So on this 3 details, I put a busy week flying solo. Number 2 was most nights I collapse on the couch. And number 3 totally proved how capable I am, because goodness gracious, it was a week. It was the week that we went back to school, the routine, and my husband was gone. So it was definitely a test of how much can I do. So over on this little speech bubble, I talked about how we were having cold temperatures, super cold temperatures. And apparently when it gets really cold, one of our vehicles, the windows will freeze shut. So I had to jump out of the SUV, grab a bucket of water, and throw it on the window. And because I was kind of late, I just threw the bucket on the ground. And that is the photo that you see up in the left-hand corner with the watering can. So that was how one of our days started. So that was pretty hilarious. And I also just talked about how the day before the kids went back to school, I treated them to Jamba Juice and McDonald's for a fun lunch. And then I said that my current special snack is peanut butter, oatmeal, honey, and chocolate chips. And I love having that in a bowl, especially if I can read a book with it. And it's definitely one of my favorite ways to kind of kick off the afternoon. Having a special little protein treat snack and reading some of my book. So now I'm going to work on the 4x4 journaling card. And for this one, I'm just doing bullet points to document the week. And then once I get that done, I can go ahead and do a 4x6 insert. I wanted to have a photo of the kids and I, and also a photo of my husband and his different FaceTime shots that I got through the week. And what I did is I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3 card, and you'll see that in just a second. So on the bullet points, I just said that the kids and I went back to school on the 9th, and everything went much better than expected. We were able to really get into the routine pretty easily. The kids and I also watched a lot of Mr. Beast videos. Do you know that YouTube channel? The kids and I were watching that. It was pretty funny because at least they picked what we watched, and it was an all-together activity, so that was fun. And then I said I'm excited for a family weekend where we get to hang out all together on Saturday and Sunday. And as far as the braid with my daughter, we discovered, finally, took me so long, but we discovered that if we braid her hair at night, it makes it so much easier to brush in the morning when we're going to school. It's not so tangled. So I took this 1, 2, 3 card and I grabbed the shape of the boxes digitally, and I was able to make a mask and clip in the FaceTime shots of my husband on, different days. And I actually wound up getting one with all 3 of us, which is pretty funny. So I included it on this card, and I love it. I love how that one came together. And so that's going to be my little 4x6 insert in between the weekly spread. I also wanted to use some word phrase stickers because I love word phrase stickers and I can't get enough of them. So on the front of this one, I put a day in the life, and then things that make me smile on the 1, 2, 3 card. And then the bucket, the watering can where I threw the water, I'm going to put hilarious on that one, and the book is going to get special. And I don't think I really added any to the right hand side. So now I've got everything done. I'm just making sure it looks good, and then I will put it into my album. This is where I decided to add in the stickers, and I'm not sure why I didn't add any to the other side. Like I could have, but I guess I didn't. Because to me, it might have made sense to add one to the 2x2 photo just so that way both sides have stickers. I don't know. It feels like it would need to be balanced, you know, but I forgot. Oh well, it still looks like a fantastic spread. So grabbing the pieces, putting it in the album, and then I can show you guys how it looks in the album. And I had so much fun putting this together. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing it come together. I'm loving this 6x8 size, just like I did last year. It's just so fun, and hopefully I can continue to make things not so complicated, right? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.